Today we're going to Foncebadón, which is up in the mountains, 26k up into the mountains. It's going to be a tougher day today. Let's get going. Just coming through a very pretty little village called El Ganzo with the church behind me, and there's loads of these beautiful roses around, which is very nice. It's getting warmer today and we're up into the mountains now. Very few clouds around and there's very little shade, so feeling the heat a bit of a slip slap slopped with the old sun cream, trying to make sure we're good. Just been reflecting on worship. Last night, being in a bar watching the England game, oh dear, it wasn't so good. But there's definitely a bit of worship going on of the England team by one or two of the Brits. And then the Spain-Italy game, definitely some worship going on there, and a passionate game. I think we can place all sorts of things in a position of worship in our lives. I wonder what that might be for you. Do you worship certain things? Does something become such an important part of your life that you actually worship rather than just enjoy? It says in the Bible that we're supposed to keep our worship for God. We shall have no other gods. We shall have no gods before our God. And so worship is a funny thing. We mustn't become so into things, so maybe obsessed with things that we end up worshipping. But that's certainly what it looked like last night as people were singing songs and cheering and hands in the air. It looked like worship. And I think that often is the case in sporting environments. How do we worship? Well, when we read the Psalms, we learn a lot about worship. Just been thinking about how David approaches worship, how he describes worship, how he provokes his own heart to worship, as I've read Psalms 98 through to 102. In Psalm 98, he writes, sing a new song. I mean, he wrote lots of songs, lots of psalms, lots of songs to the Lord. Sing a new song to the Lord, for he has done marvellous things, making himself well up with praise. And then in Psalm 100, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Come and be close to him, enter in and sing your song to God. And then in Psalm 101, sing about the justice of God. David worshipping the justice of God. You can worship God in lots of ways, and David in the Psalms is a great model to follow in the way that he urges himself, provokes himself into heartfelt praise of God. What are you worshipping God for today? It's dead easy for me. I'm back in my happy place in the mountains. We might have climbed a few hundred feet already, and we're going up to the top of one of these, so we've got a little way to go yet. More climbing to do, but it's so worth it for the views and for the beautiful trees and the landscapes, and every corner being a different landscape. Easy to worship God for his creation and the beauty of it. I don't know what it is really. I guess it's just the way that God designed us, that when we see this kind of a landscape, it does something to our hearts, does something to our souls. It certainly does to me. And just mooching along and looking up and hearing the bird song and all of those things, as I've discussed before, just wonderful. What are you worshipping at the moment? And is it the right thing to worship, to urge you to worship God first, rather than worshipping a football team, worshipping, a hobby, personal possessions, a spouse, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or whoever it might be, a person in your life, a person of influence, somebody you admire. Let's strip all of that back just for a moment and bring us back to focus upon our God, who is so powerful and good and for us. Let's worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay, we're going up quite steeply now. We've got to climb up to over 4,000 feet today, so a bit of a climb. Of course, Astorga is at about 2,700, so it's not all climbing. We're going up to 4,500, so best part of 2,000 feet of climb, and it's gorgeous. These crosses on the fence here. Rather a nice pad over here. So a very nice little stop for a quick drink and rest the feet, just here, as we go up the mountain. Well, after a very refreshing little rest stop, we've got another 6k to do, all uphill, quite strongly uphill to Foncebadón. We're just coming through the Camino. I was due to stop here, but I thought I'd keep going just a few more k today. So we're going up to the top. Another little chapel. Quaint old streets. Lovely place. Blue skies. Lots of flowers. Just great. Check out this view. Look at this place. Oh. This is where we've come from, and this is Foncebadón, where we're staying tonight. What a view. Well, we've reached this mountain town, and this is our burger for this evening, with a view behind. That's been quite a climb. We're at 1,541 metres, one of the highest points on the whole Camino. It's the highest point now since coming over from St. John on the first day, and it's good to be here.